morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Thursday. I hope it finds you well out there. We got another fire burning in California. So far, it's big, but not getting into the homes. Let's hope that continues. But, yeah, this one is burning, almost 10,000 acres now. So, but the good news is it's not like the Palisades and Altadena. It hasn't gotten into the neighborhoods. Let's hope that continues. And then, of course, the South. Hey, they had all the snow. They're digging out. It's still pretty cold in a lot of the country, but not here in the Valley of the Sun. It's going to be another great day here. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. Of course, the delivery of wealth insurance, gold and silver. It is what we do. The website at allamericangold.com. Yesterday we heard from Jamie Dimon, right there in Davos, right? All the billionaires, and of course saying, hey, okay, let me tell you the truth. We got debt problems, right? The whole world. Wow, I got an update by Japan. Wow, you guys. It really is truly amazing, the house of cards, when it comes all crashing down. Everyone will be like, what were they thinking, right? What could they possibly be thinking? But extended pretend has been the name of the game. Today we're going to hear from Larry Fink. I love his name because he's a Fink. BlackRock. Yes, so they own just about everything, right? The largest asset manager in the world, and very interesting comments from him today. So you got that to look forward to. I don't know how many meme coins got created over the last 24 hours, but Trump made a killing with his coin. It was so great. Melania made a coin. Even the pastor, which this is, I guess, I don't know if it's good or bad. I thought it was pretty classless. But other people out there will probably be thinking, hey, you have the right to speak your mind. When President Trump was at the church service. And, if you're a church regular, the priest will get up and kind of, give you something to think about for the week. Food for thought, if you will. And spent it basically taking cheap shots at Trump, which I thought was extremely classless and unfortunate. But it is what it is. It is what I guess that's the new world today. I guess I'll give him credit because he didn't mention Trump by name, but everyone knew. At least he did it to his face. I think so. Okay, at least that happened. He created a meme coin, Jason. Yeah, he's like, hey, wait a minute. Why can't I make a few dollars, right? Everybody and their mother. Jason, he follows this stuff way more than I do. But what is funny was, we kind of made fun of Fart Coin last week. Apparently this week, we've got a new one now, for those people, Butthole Coin. Apparently that's up like 500%. I mean, these coins are on fire.
I think a lot of people are trying to figure out where to put their money to grow it. There's a much more sophisticated American trying to figure out how to keep up with the inflation. I don't think in the 70s and 80s, I think Americans were a little more dumbed down than they are now. And it's an age-old tale of get-rich-quick schemes, right, Joe? And there's a ton of them out there. A few people actually get that dream, right? Some people win the lottery, right? Some people jump on the butt coin right before it takes off, right? But for everybody else, you got to be careful. Don't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to pulling the arm on the gambling machine, right, Joe?
Right. Hey, listen, I've said this all along. I think it's great. I've always thought it was great. The thing that I hate is now it's taken on I guess, Wall Street and governments, right? They're kind of ruining the whole thing. But having said that, listen, I got no problem with it. Just understand, hey, this is the money that I'm going to be. We always talk about diversification risk, right? You got bonds, right? Bonds tend to be the safest thing, not nearly as safe as they used to be. That's kind of the problem, right? That's a big problem lately with bonds, right? Then you have like your precious metals, right? Your gold and your silver, right? They're I guess people, they can be boring. I guess. I mean, they haven't been boring, but they can be boring. But, the great thing there is, hey, it's always worth something. I'm not going to lose all my money, and I'm going to, especially in an inflated type world, hey, I'm going to keep up. You got your stocks, right? The more debt instruments. And as we know, hey, listen, as long as we are in the boom, it's great. And for the last 50 years, this is the I guess what they've given us, which is money printing. This is what they've given us. So these markets are very interesting. Now you got this digital stuff. I think some of it is probably really good. I think most of it's probably garbage. Absolute garbage, and will go to zero. But here's the thing. In between then and now, you can make some big bucks, but just understand the risk, right? You can make some big bucks, and then you can also lose some big bucks. That's why I like sticking with Bitcoin or Ethereum. You can still gain or lose big bucks, but I don't think those two will go to zero. But, again, gamble with what you can afford. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Tuesday. A quick look in at the markets. By the way, Trump is addressing Davos as we speak here. We'll see what the headlines have to say about that. But the Dow up just under 200 points. The S&P's up 6. The Nasdaq's down 50. The 10-year note, we'll keep watching here. 4.64, 4.65 now, so kind of going back in the wrong direction. We had a little bit of a sell-off. Like I said, I keep hoping for more. I don't think we're going to get it. Crude oil is up, but off the $80 level, down here below $76 right now. Gold, a little bit of profit taking, not a lot right now. Gold's down $8, $27.50. Silver's down about 65 cents right now, $30.15. And Jason, we're learning more and more about what's going to be coming. We heard from Jamie Dimon essentially saying, hey, guys, get over the whole tariff thing. They're coming. And it's a good thing for national security, apparently. So I don't know what changed from a national security perspective, but at least according to Jamie Dimon, everyone needs to pay more for national security, and you need to get over it. Then this morning, we heard from BlackRock's Larry Fink. And, obviously, when you think about two of the most important players out there, Jamie Dimon, Larry Fink, are right at the top of the list. Now, let me give you the good news. So it's not all bad news. Let me give you the good news. Larry Fink is cautiously optimistic. So that's a good thing. Then he said, that being said, I have scenarios, plural, right? So he's got a lot of scenarios, I'm sure, where it could be pretty bad. He was addressing from Switzerland. I believe if we unlock all of this private capital, we're going to have enormous growth, okay? And again, remember, spend our way out, okay? Now, this part, he's talking about the private side, not the government side, the private side. At the same time, okay, so remember Jamie Dimon talked about inflation, said, yeah, okay, you're just going to have to deal with it. At the same time, creating, or I guess unlocking this private capital, there is going to be a creation of new inflationary pressures. There's that word again. Right? So understand, listen, there are good things happening. There really is. And yes, I think a lot of people are excited. But all of these guys all say the same thing. Yeah, well, if we can unlock the spending, and again, remember, this is the private side. Yeah, we're going to have inflation. Then you throw in the government side, and I just think it's going to be a lot more inflation than people think. And, of course, what does Larry Fink say? Yeah, I don't believe that this is being factored into the markets. Whoops. Remember, we keep talking about the bubbly markets here. I think the bond market is going to tell us where we're going. I should be in charge of BlackRock. I've been telling this to everybody for how long? The bond markets are telling us exactly what's going to happen. So Larry Fink kind of doing his best double J, and saying, hey, guys, I got news for you. We're going to have a lot more inflation and a lot higher bond rates. There are some very large inflationary pressures that we have to be aware of. And I'm like, okay, tell us what they are. No, I'm not going to do that. Instead, he said, and depending on how this plays out, there is scenarios where we're going to have much more elevated interest rates because of inflation, and that's going to have a very negative impact on the equity market. And do not be surprised. Ready for this? The 10-year note, he said, well, 5%, yeah. Don't be surprised this year that it's 5.5%, and there would be a shock to the equity markets. And this is why we say, right, Jason, be diversified. This is why you want to make sure, hey, I want to be the cautiously optimistic Larry Fink, right? And hope somehow we unlock all of this capital, and we do all this spending, and somehow it doesn't create inflation. I mean, granted, that is truly the definition of inflation, but somehow maybe we can get out of this thing with just a little bit, I guess. Maybe that's what they're hoping for. Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and inflation will be just a little bit. But probably not, and you better get ready because it may get really bad.
Yeah, I think the change of administration is, and with the economic dark clouds that are gathering, I think people are taking this opportunity to be a little more honest about how rough it's going to get, right, Joe? They want to get you ready now. They want to start sending the signals out to be ready for it because it's coming, right, Joe? And I mean, it's hard to be nice telling people that economic catastrophe is heading your way, right? It's kind of, how do you say that in a nice way? We do it every day. We try to do it every way, but sometimes you just don't say it nice. Sometimes you just say really bad stuff's happening, and these guys here say, dude, you guys have to deal with it. You know, we're going to be okay, but you're going to have to deal with it.
We're going to be okay. Don't worry. Just shut up and deal, and it'll be okay. Listen, this is fair. Jamie Dimon was fair yesterday. Larry Fink, that's fair. Hey, I'm cautiously optimistic, but notice how all of the rest of the but was, well, this bad thing could happen, and this bad thing, and this scenario, and that scenario. You kind of get the understanding that, okay, here we go. Donald Trump, I don't know how he's going to do this, says he'll demand that interest rates drop immediately. I don't know what that means. I'll take it at Donald Trump is maybe sending a message to the Federal Reserve that he fully will expect interest rates to drop. I don't know. Obviously, the president not in charge of the interest rate, so we'll have to see. That's the headline. I don't have any other detail behind it, but maybe that is something. I don't know if he's saying that in Davos or if that's just a headline that was put out. But Donald Trump saying he's going to demand that interest rates drop immediately. Now, this is something where, again, Donald Trump gets it. He does. He understands the higher the interest rates go, the U.S. national debt skyrockets. He gets it. He's like, man, if I do what I want to do and interest rates don't go down, the deficit's going to be enormous. And if I do what I want to do and interest rates go up, they're going to be basically unobtainable. It'll blow it up. Right, because interest rates will go sky high. It'll blow the whole thing up. So he's going to try, I guess, to get Jay Powell to keep cutting rates. So we'll see what happens. I'll get more details as we get them. But Donald Trump saying he is demanding that interest rates drop immediately. Of course, Larry Fink in Davos this morning, the bond markets are going to tell us what's up. Now, but we got to talk about Stargate, that investment vehicle yesterday where OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank said they're going to spend $500 billion over 4 or 5 years in investing and basically buying a bunch of probably NVIDIA chips and AI, right? They're talking about, hey, AI could cure cancer. Pretty much AI can do everything. It can cure cancer. Maybe it can fix inflation. I don't know. AI can do it all. Then Elon Musk comes out and says, please, these guys don't have any money. And I'm like, well, I mean, I know Oracle does. Right? I mean, his personal money, but he's like, SoftBank doesn't have any money. OpenAI is tied to Microsoft, or they have been. Yesterday, the CEO of OpenAI, him and Elon Musk were taking shots at each other. Sam Altman's his name. He announced that OpenAI is leaving its relationship with Microsoft. Microsoft had already said, hey, we're doing our own. We're doing our own AI thing. Microsoft CEO in Davos this morning says, hey, I don't know about these guys. OpenAI, SoftBank, or I don't know what they're doing, don't care what they're doing. I don't know if they got the money, don't got the money. He goes, all as I know is I've got my $80 billion, which is what Microsoft had already said last year. At the end of last year, they're going to spend $80 billion. Now, I don't know if that's in 1 year or if that's over a bunch of years. But Microsoft saying they're going to be spending $80 billion. They no longer are working with OpenAI. And now OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank talking about this $500 billion. And I think, unfortunately, it's probably not going to be $500 billion. I think they'll spend a lot. I do. I think they will. But I think Elon Musk is probably right They probably don't have $500 billion, but still, Jason, these are huge numbers. Saudi Arabia today, MBS told Donald Trump, hey, we're going to spend $600 billion buying stuff from the United States in trade. This is what Larry Fink was talking about. This unleashing of all of this capital is going to create a lot more inflation than people are prepared for.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little hard to predict, isn't it, Joe? Is it something that's going to come in slowly and just build manageably, or is this going to be a tidal wave? Are we going to get hit with something really hard? And if we're going to get hit really hard with something, that's when the emergency tends to pop up suddenly. So it's not Saudi Arabia, it's not the Fed, it's not Trump. It's the big emergency. So if it's a big deal, Joe, watch out, because the military's sure getting pumped up here, it looks like, with the new administration.
800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Thursday. Donald Trump at the World Economic Forum. Remember, he was zooming in, right? He didn't fly there, but at the assembly, Donald Trump, in a wide-ranging policy speech, did not mention Jay Powell or the Federal Reserve by name, but stated, I demand that interest rates drop immediately, and likewise, they should be dropping all over the world. Interest rates should follow us all over. That was his comments in Davos, and of course, immediately, listen, gold was supposed to be down today. They like it when they can't figure, it's just technical selling or profit taking, whatever they want to call it. Well, throw that out the window. Gold, which now is down $2. Get ready. I think it's going to be a lot higher before the day ends. $27.55. Silver, here it comes, right? Roaring back as well. Now down less than 50 cents and probably going higher than that. I had two great specials. Of course, they were great because gold was down almost $20. Silver was down almost 75, 80 cents. And I'm like, all right, yes, let's do this. And of course, I'm still going to do it. Still going to do it. We don't have tons. We don't have tons, but we've got 25 $20 gold pieces. I will say this. If you like really nice looking, shiny $20 gold pieces, today's your day. These things are really nice. They're limited, but they're super, super nice looking. Under spot at $27.50. Right now, spot is now $27.55. So $5 under, and by the end of the day, maybe more than that. I don't know what else Donald Trump's going to say. $27.50 on these 20s, and then on silver. All year, I keep telling you, add some silver in every order. I don't care if it's just a roll of dimes. Add some. Today we're going to do, these are backdate sealed cases of silver. Okay? So these will be cases that had never been opened. I don't know the dates, but I know they're not 2025s. By the way, tomorrow, for those of you looking for 2025s, we'll do them tomorrow. They cost more. Just say. Roll, and it's coming out of a sealed case. Back date, 20 ounces in a roll, $700. $700. That's $35 off, almost $2 an ounce off. Here's the thing. You buy the whole case, the sealed case itself. I'm going to give you that other $5, right? $40 off. $17,375 for a sealed case of backdated silver eagles. Now, all the other guys out there, the online guys, they all charge more for the older ones. All of them. Like, you get into the 90s with some of these guys, they want $60 and $70 a coin. Right? Not here. We actually, right now we're going to be charging less for the old than the new. And these are coming out of sealed cases. So this isn't some stuff that, got all toned up and people put their hands all over it. Great opportunities here. And think about it. I want you to think about Donald Trump's comment. Not only did he say, I want rates down, I want them down right now. So basically, he told Jay Powell, you keep cutting rates. That's what I love about Trump. He's got an ego that, he's writing checks that I don't know if his body can cash it or not, but guess what? I don't care. Because then he said, by the way, everybody else in the world, you need to get these rates down. Why? Because he knows inflation is coming. And Donald Trump, this is the right thing to do. I'll be honest, I think this is the right thing to do. He's saying, it's coming. It's not going to be my fault. We got to do it. It's the only option. It's either that or Great Depression. I don't want Great Depression. Somehow I got to try to get these rates down. Right? Because, well, if we don't get the rates down, imagine how much even more debt is going to be added into the world. Jason, I told everybody, I've been telling everybody, I don't care which things happen, every scenario. I'm not Larry Fink. I'm not cautiously optimistic. And oh, by the way, let me give you all the bad things that could happen. I am irrationally exuberant on where gold and silver is headed. Because, I'll be honest with you, I don't know that there's a scenario where it could go any other way based on what these guys are doing. Now, tomorrow, if they come out in reverse course and say, hey, whoa, wait, we're going to cut spending and do this, and I'll change my mind. But based on the facts that we know today, this is big, and I think Donald Trump really going to hold his feet to the fire in getting these rates down. And it's also in more news breaking. Trump says he's going to ask Saudi Arabia to bring oil prices down. Good luck. Saudi Arabia is running big budget deficits, and actually Saudi Arabia's kind of said they need oil to be at 90. But anyway, Jason, he's trying.
We've said for several years, especially during the inflation, 2021, 2022, 2023, we said that the Fed's trying to walk the tightrope. Don't drop the rate, or don't drop the rates, create inflation, raise the rates, crush the markets. And that the Fed's been trying to kind of keep things just happy, just okay. Yeah, we got more inflation, but it's not way out of control. But the markets are not doing great, But it's not crashing. But I guess Donald Trump she's chosen a side, hasn't he? He's chosen the inflative side.
Oh yeah. Listen, I'm going to say this right now. He's the man. He's the man. No doubt about it. The reason I'm this exuberant is because of Donald Trump. By the way, the U.S. 10-year note not listening, almost 4.65 at least right now. So no real reaction from the bond markets on the news. Gold, however, well, it kind of reversed course down 27.56, down $1. Here we go. 800-951-0592. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. We got all kinds of stuff on sale today. $20 gold pieces. Below spot and these things. I don't really, brag too much on $20 gold. I mean, all the ones we said, listen, they're old, right? They're 1860. Most of these are all libs. There's a few saints, but most of these are all libs. 1866 to 1907. So you're talking like the vast majority is 120 years plus old. They're all decent. Some of them get more banged up than others. Some of them you can see some copper spots. Some of them got like what I call bag dust, the black bag dust on it and stuff like that. Not these. These things are super, super sharp. You're just going to be shocked at how good they look. Just like we saw, gold's now positive here. 27.57 now on gold. These are 27.50, so $7 under spot, and we'll see by the end of the day. Who knows? $5 liberties. We still got those on sale. So you're like, gosh, Joe, I don't have 27.50. I can't swing that. We got $5 liberties, $745. $745. That's a quarter of an ounce of gold. And then on the silver side, all of this silver today, they're coming out of backdated sealed cases. So these have never seen the light of day. These are in green monster boxes. There's 25 rolls of 20. So each roll's got 20 1-ounce silver eagles in it. If you want to roll, they're $700. If you buy the case, by the way, at $700, you're saving $35 on the roll. That's just under $2 an ounce off. Okay. If you buy the case, all 500, you will get it. It will be sealed. I recommend, just my recommendations, don't unseal it. But some people are like, no, I got to make sure. I mean, Joe could have put rocks in there or something, whatever. You can do with it as you wish. You're going to save another $5. So it's $2 an ounce off. Below $700, which I really thought wasn't going to happen again. $695 a roll if you buy the whole case. $17,375. And of course, silver, right? All of a sudden, here comes silver. Now silver's down 26 cents, 30.50. So Jason, gold's now, well, here we go, 27.60 on gold. Gold's now up $3. Silver getting ready to go higher as Donald Trump in his address to Davos talking about he is demanding not only that U.S. rates come down, bond rates all over the world. You got to follow us. We got to get them down because we got to spend a bunch of money on top of that. Jason, more good news for gold and silver. Donald Trump pressuring NATO. You better start spending 5% of your GDP on military. Jason, you're lucky if you can get a NATO country to spend 2%. Right now he's talking about you better spend 5%, and we know Donald Trump has a way of getting people to do what he wants. The amount of spending that would be this is what I'm saying. Every country's in the same boat. Japan's in the same boat. Europe's in the same boat. It's either Great Depression or spend, and Donald Trump's basically telling them all, let's all spend together, Jason.
Right, and the thing about these guys at the top, the really big, the really big pocketbooks, the gallery at the inaugural address, right? Is you get the biggest players in the boat all at the same time. Right, Joe? And look at all the big players. I mean, it's sad, Joe, to me, that it really seems like they're going to play this thing very specific, pinpointed, and exact. We talk about the big club, on the half-empty cup of Joe show. the big club is like you remember. I remember the first Gulf War when they first had the laser guided bombs, and you can watch the bomb all the way to where it hits the house, right, or hits the building.
Right, goes right through the front door, right?
It's going exactly where they want it. That's what this next economic stage sure looks like. The haves and the have-nots. Good luck trying to get into that room and know the exact dates and times that all this stuff's supposed to go down. I think the reason that Elon Musk is so prevalent in this situation is he's the biggest hog in the room, so to speak, right, Joe? And he's showing everybody how you can make a company become overvalued and overblown, and all you have to do is promote it. They're doing it with these meme coins, right? They're testing out how they're going to, propagate and advertise this market crash with it looks like extreme inflation. All these guys start blowing this thing up all at the same time, Joe. This is going to be a massively big problem, and it sure looks like a war or something is going to be the smokescreen, the cover. And the more that this looks like is happening, like the way you're saying, Joe, and the way these guys are getting together, it could be a massive problem. Whatever this next emergency is going to be, watch out, COVID.
Iran's on the
9/11.
clock. I'm just going to tell you, Iran's on the clock. I think this also is another direct message to Jay Powell. Stop quantitative tightening. That last $24 billion, I would not be shocked to see that go away completely. Get ready for a return to quantitative easing to try to get these rates down. I'm going to update you just how much quantitative easing has Japan done, and why is it that everybody's so concerned again? We'll be back. Final segment coming up. Final segment on this Thursday. Wow, this thing took off legs of its own here as Donald Trump, in his address to the World Economic Forum, demanding bond rates go down, not just here, but globally. I think he's going to essentially tell the Fed quantitative tightening's over. We're not doing that anymore. Matter of fact, if you really want rates down, obviously the Fed can keep cutting. That hasn't worked, right? The cutting rates hasn't worked, right? They've cut and the rates keep going higher. Maybe are we going to see quantitative easing like we haven't seen? I think that is one of the things that nobody's looked at. But quickly here, just to give you an idea, the Japan Central Bank, they've done quantitative easing. Do you know that their central bank now has 125% of the entire Japanese economy? And everyone's starting to freak out here, going, uh-oh, wait a minute. Switzerland, 100% on their central bank's balance sheet. How about the ECB? Yeah, they're at 40%. We're at like 25%. Just to give you an idea. And why do I have this feeling that, Jason, we're going to have quantitative, and I've said this already. I've been telling you, quantitative. We're gonna, the next round of quantitative easing is probably going to push us over $20 trillion. Right? That'll push us, somewhere around 75% of GDP, give or take. I think that's kind of where we're heading. But it's interesting. Remember Jamie Dimon and his warning about, hey, sovereign debt, we got a problem. Was he talking about Japan? Probably. And then Larry Fink today, hey, I'm cautiously optimistic. But there's one problem with releasing all of this capital. Massive inflation. And what is the bond market going to do? And then saying, nobody's looking at this. Forget about 5%. I think we're going to see 5.5% this year, and that's going to cause trouble in the equity markets. And then Donald Trump came out and said, I'll show you, Larry Fink. I demand they go lower.
Well, let's just see what happens, right, Joe? we'll see what happens.
The Treasury's going 5.6465. So far not working. The Trump demand not working so far.
Probably worried about that 5% level, right? Probably worried about it getting there.
5% is scary because once you break it, right, I think it's going to, especially if all these companies really spend what they say they're going to. Look out here. $20 gold pieces, $2,750. That is below spot. U.S. Silver Eagles, backdate sealed cases. A roll is $700. Buy the whole case. $695 a roll, or $17,375 at 800-951-0592. And I will say this, what an inauguration week this has been. We didn't even talk about jobless claims today, 223,000. 10,000 troops heading to the border. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff left. Here's the thing. Jason and I, we got 2 more hours. We're going to be back with the half-empty cup. Join us there. And we'll see you one more time tomorrow. God bless. Jason and I are going to be right back.